Welcome to the Crypto News. In this video, Greg Foss says that the banking system will fail, and he also explains why you need Bitcoin. Listen to what he has to say.
Look, if you are getting sick by the price of the volatility of Bitcoin, you own too much. Let's say you own 5% of your portfolio in Bitcoin. It's like you forget what the other 95% is in, and you just focus on this 5%. Like, people, put it away. Let's talk in 20 years. If you disciplined investing is not getting shaken out by short-term price moves. And if you do get shaken out, it means you put too much in. You got to figure out what your meter is. And there's guys who are comfortable being 100% exposed. That's not me. That's too big for me. Your emotion will lead you to making the worst trades you've ever made in your life if you listen to your emotion rather than to logic. And if you're trading on emotion, I promise I know how this ends, you end up with nothing, because emotion is the enemy of proper risk management. The best place to own Bitcoin is in your safe, in a cold wallet or in cold storage, and you just have them there and you say, I have this many, and that's how many I have. And you don't convert them to fiat dollars in your idiot brain. You just say, I have 0.x or X or 10x Bitcoin saved up, and I'll talk to you in 20 years. And you try and not look or think of it in the fiat world where everything has to be, valued in US dollars or whatever. That is not reality. That is the Ponzi. That is how they suck you in, get you to continuously work for a system that doesn't solve itself. When you're in a debt spiral like we are, it requires people consuming in the short term at the expense of their long-term vision and their long-term goals or their long-term monetary energy.
Why Bitcoin only, and why not diversify that aspect of your portfolio as well?
So I need to be real careful here. Yes, I am a Bitcoin maximalist. Do I believe that there will be other tokens or coins that succeed? Yes. None of them will solve the fiat Ponzi. Therefore, I don't care about them. And secondly, I can also get similar type of risk in the equity markets where I have much more comfort than trading in the altcoin markets, okay? I'm in Bitcoin very simply because I don't trust the fiat Ponzi. And there's no other coin or token out there that is truly decentralized that can give me the comfort that I get from owning Bitcoin. Here's advice, and I'm not saying for people to over-lever, but don't own bonds and borrow against your assets to the extent that the banks will let you borrow against these assets, or to the extent that you're comfortable leveraging your assets, because you're supposed to borrow money when interest rates are at historical lows. And you're supposed to borrow money today. You borrow $100, and in 10 years, you pay the bank back that same $100 that's only worth $40. It's the flip side. You don't want to be a lender. You want to be a borrower. Don't over-lever yourself, and don't use credit card debt. You use low coupon fixed debt. And it's the same advice that any CFO who runs a publicly traded company that could borrow money to put the proceeds into Bitcoin. It's exactly what that CFO should be doing as well. Okay.
So what do you think is holding America back from getting...
They're scared, right? They believe that they want control. That's why they did a futures-based ETF, because they can control and regulate the Chicago Mercantile Exchange where the futures are traded, or the CBOE. They don't feel comfortable enough to say that the unregulated black hole where Bitcoin trades, they can properly regulate. I believe it's wrong. I believe the OSC made the right decision. But hey, there's a lot of politics in the USA too, right? The Elizabeth Warrens of the world, who people actually think has a brain. That's unfortunate, but that's what you get. You'll get the haters, the lovers, the haters, people that want to control your lives versus people that want to allow freedom. That's an age-old battle. No one wants to be around when the system fails. The system will fail, okay? And that is why you need Bitcoin. Bitcoin is insurance against the system failing. And each successive financial crisis gets worse, and each successive financial crisis gets more, is shorter duration, meaning the 2009 financial crisis took about 2 years to unfold. Okay, Foss, how much Bitcoin do you own? I'm at 40% of my portfolio. Everything that I have, real estate, What other things do I own? I mentioned commodities, cars, a couple cars, but they're not vintage cars. They're just cars. They're a depreciating asset as well, but you need a car. Point is, there's a lot of Bitcoin maxis out there that are 100% all in Bitcoin. I'm not going to say they're wrong. I just don't think you need to go to that extreme in order to participate in the upside of this asymmetry. And by the way, that upside is, in my opinion, probable, but not 100% certain. So you can't be all in on something you're not 100% certain on. And you don't need to be. That's the greatest thing. Because if Bitcoin goes up by 50 times, which I think it will, just to attain its fair value, that's 50 times. It's sort of like the Peter Schiff example. All you have to do is put, 2% of your portfolio in Bitcoin. It goes up 50 times. Your entire portfolio has doubled just because of one position that you had a 2% exposure to. That's now up to 100%, or it doubled the value of your whole portfolio. So that's how you manage risk, people. You manage risk based on probabilities, expected values. When the information changes, you change your strategy. Now, this is the problem with Shifty Pete. The information continued to change and he never changed his investment strategy. In fact, he doubled down by saying it's now worse. He has on record so often to say, Bitcoin will never attain this price. Okay, it attained that price. Then he just jacks up his price. Bitcoin will never attain that price. And, he's gone on record so many times. I guarantee you Bitcoin will never reach $10,000 a Bitcoin. You, Shifty Pete, for being such a conflicted, risk allocator. You have cost so many people so much money, and that's just unforgivable. So you got to call out that clown, okay? You have clowns in government, you have clowns in portfolio management, and you got to call them out. I don't want my kids who I encourage to make their own decisions having to listen to the drivel coming out of Peter Schiff's mouth and thinking that he actually knows what he's talking about. He doesn't. And that's why you have to call out these people. I think I have the experience that allows me to do this. I'm not some 25-year-old student that just graduated from university and thinks that I know everything. I've been sitting in the real world managing risk for over 30 years, okay? And I've seen some stuff. And you don't learn that in a textbook. You actually learn it by sitting, as I say, in the proverbial risk chair, where you're sick to your stomach because you think that you are about to lose not just your job, but all of your clients' hard-earned money because you may be on the wrong side of a trade. That teaches you stuff that you can't learn in a textbook, pure and simple.
Do you want to know one thing about crypto? I made over 3,000% in profit in a few weeks. Fact is, the traditional financial system, the traditional money system makes you poor, not rich. If you want to earn $500,000, $1 million, you have to wait until you're 50, 60, 70 in the traditional financial system, and you probably will still be broke. And you will be old. This is not a sexy combination, as you can imagine. But the question is, how can you start in crypto and make these profits? Where to invest? Where to start? My name is Gunnar and I'm from Germany, as you can hear, and things are a little bit different in Germany. More about that later on. Fact is, there are lots of different cryptocurrencies. It's a gigantic universe where beginners and professionals get easily lost. But there is light at the end of the tunnel. There are 7 key steps you need to follow to become successful in this market. You have to know them, and if you fail one of them, it's literally impossible to succeed in this market. Just an example, one of the key points is your exchange, and one of the biggest are, for example, Binance and Coinbase. These are trusted and well-established exchanges, but, and this is a big but, you won't find the super profitable coins on those exchanges. The unknown super profitable coins that get gigantic profits are not traded on those kind of exchanges. They are traded on much smaller insider platforms that are barely known. And I can tell you what those super secret exchanges are and why they are so profitable. And another super important thing are the right information sources. The point is, the internet is gigantic. There are hundreds and hundreds of YouTube channels, blogs, pages, and much more. And there are also market makers and influencers. For example, Elon Musk, he is not a crypto guy, but the moment he recommended Dogecoin, it went through the roof, to the moon, so to say. But why did he recommend it? Where did he hear it from? He didn't hear it from newspapers. And believe me, he is listening to someone. But you have to know who, and you have to react before he is reacting. This is really, really important. And these are only 2 of the 7 steps you have to follow in order to be successful in crypto. And if you want to know all of these steps in much more detail, and if you want to have a comprehensive checklist, here's what you should do. There is a link below this video. Click on this link and you will get the opportunity to subscribe to my channel. Click on the link and you will see a video where I explain the next steps. So see you soon. Click on the link now. I'll see you there.